Hey, my friends, I'm your friend Kevin. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you. And thank you all for liking, subscribing, and commenting. This is your Divine Daily Blast. So, getting right to it, we are on a angel numerology number 2 day today, which is really all about diplomacy. It works with the card of the Eight of Swords. Pull out the Wise Counselor or the Hierophant. This is also about sensitivity and self-awareness. With the moon sitting in the compassionate and emotional sign of Cancer, we're also in this waxing cycle. And it feels a little bit like full steam ahead towards our dreams, our wishes, what we want to invoke, what we want to bring to our table. Because, at the end of this upcoming week, we have a full moon and an eclipse. So this is a time that we really do have to pull off the ties that bind us to past problems. The past can no longer hold us back because we're sitting in a different time, space, reality, and you're a completely different person. We're all completely different. So I want you to take on the notion that nothing in your life, my life, our life is going to repeat itself. If you keep dwelling into it, you keep sending those rockets. It's a little like sending arrows to an iron wall. It just hits and doesn't go anywhere. Stop the momentum of digging into past problems and the momentum of making these assumptions. Chase your biggest dreams yet. And try to dig into the belief that you already have manifested them. They're here. What are you going to do with them? How are you? And this is also how we fine-tune those dreams, because they can feel a little off. They can feel a little, left of center. This is where we pay attention to what's going on, what's really happening. So the number 2 energy is also about being diplomatic with other people. It's about having faith in your ability to manifest. It's also asking us to be gentle, joyful, harmonious, supportive, considerate, sensitive to ourselves first, and let all of that have the opportunity to ripple out into the world. This is about loving energy. This is also going to lift your vulnerability so you can see it. It's allowing us to work with the divine feminine to heal and to protect. But don't give up. If you get stuck, like this morning, I pulled a card as part of a class that I'm in, a 6-month class, and I got the 8 of Cups, and it said aimlessness. And I immediately went into this place of, are they accusing me of being aimless? And I really had to think about it, because I went into that egoic fear of, I'm not being aimless, I'm doing whatever I got defensive with really, here I go getting defensive with a bloody tarot card. That makes no sense at all. The divine is trying to help you. But what the message then came through, because I have guides that have the same sense of humor I do, and it's like, you silly sod. This is not about you being aimless. This is not about you. This is about you being aimless and not literally being fixed on something. Go through it as if you're sorting through your thoughts and going with the flow of what life brings to us. Being the governor of the present, governing in perfect divine order and commanding harmony, happiness, joy, and the presence of God's opulence in everything. That most certainly can be your life purpose. That is probably what our life purpose is, but because we have been so conditioned and programmed for the struggle and the strife and the challenges and the finger pointing and the judgment, oh my good gracious. Anyway, let's move on. I've got my isms. The mood sets the vibration, and that's the reality. That goes along with what I just got through saying. But I didn't pick this for that reason. It just was on the top of the pile. I explained to you yesterday. I got this big old pile of 3x5 cards. For those who weren't watching, here it is. This whole big stack of them. And I just pull. From. Some don't make sense sometimes. Sometimes I just like, yeah, no, that doesn't work for today's energy. And I put them to the back of the pile. The next one. I am always in the flow of more and more greatness. We are always asking for this expansion. We always want something new, something different, a different this, a different that. We get bored with our food. We want to try something else. We get fed up with, this couch has got to move over to a different wall. There is always movement going on. However, when we find ourselves sitting in the soup of sadness, the soup of melancholy, the soup of that, it's an indication that something needs to shift, and it's usually within us. Now, as I shuffled this morning these wonderful angel affirmation cards from this deck by Radley Valentine, I close my eyes and I do the date, like today is whatever date it is, the 8th of March. Give me a message from the angels, and this, and 2 fell out. I'm like, oh, well, and then I go to the conundrum. Which one do I choose? Well, let's just not discount somebody, because that means I've got to leave somebody out. And seemingly, they both wanted something to say. So we're going to start with Archangel Chamuel. As the Archangel of personal and global peace, I can bring you to a place of serenity, no matter the source of your unease. I love this. This, for me, is ringing my bells. I am deserving of peace. Oh, yes, I am. Harmony and tranquility are mine. Oh, yes. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Now, moving on. Sandalphon, the one who takes the prayers to God, says, with my feet on earth and my head in the heavens, I deliver your prayers directly to the divine and return the answers back to you. Here's your affirmation. My prayers are always heard and always answered. I receive angelic guidance with perfect clarity. So, in my own case, if I were to say to the divine, listen, I got the card of aimlessness. Show me where my life purpose is. And then I could go to an affirmation. I'm a star, a heavenly body radiating light. I am love. I am love. I am that I am, and that's all I am. You can also use a little rhythm and rhyme. May the light of white be in my sight. May the truth be in my heart. May the words of my mouth come from the light of my heart, be acceptable in your sight. This is all declaring that spirits of nature, call on them. Let them surround you and assist you in all that you do. Let them invoke your magic to connect you as one with this mystic enchantment, so that you can be blessed and all can be done in the way you want it to be done. That can also be all of your affirmations, you acrimonious ways of saying to the divine, I'm here, I'm doing it. Show me, give me what I need. All right, the inner beings, those intergalactic energies that come between realms, are saying, I create space for learning anew. Now, if we go right back to what I was saying earlier, that we are different people living in a different time-space continuum, you've got to create that space for something new and different. Be excited about something. And if you come up against something, I was saying yesterday, if you come up against something that you instantly have a contrast to, I don't like to call it. I don't like it, but there's a contrast. You're like, ooh, this smells a little different. Now, there's obvious things. You know what I'm saying? If you're driving by, sometimes you can, like when I come from in England, there's a lot of fields, a lot of farms, and there's a lot going on. And usually the fall or in the spring, I can't remember what time of the year, but they start spreading silage, which stinks. Now you can say I don't like the smell of that. Well, then don't drive down that road, and then you won't smell it. Um, there's obvious things that we know we're not going to like. It's not going to be pleasing. But then there are other things where somebody might ask or invite or invoke curiosity, and you may take an instant displeasure to it or an instant aversion to it. That's where you say, well, where's this coming from? What is my, show me what my aversion is. And if you don't really get anything, say, well, maybe I am supposed to pay attention to that. Maybe I am supposed to see what that's about. It doesn't matter that you're unclear at the time that that comes to you. That is the whole purpose of having this adventure. All right, now moving on. Lady Venus, she's been with us all week. Light activation. She's called into action a power surge, an Earth mission. Basically downloading all this information. Many of us have been, look, I've got another one of these cards that's upside down. I'm going to shuffle anyway though, because I feel like that might be, I don't know if that's an indication or if that's the way I put the card in yesterday. Let's just see. I'm going to go look at it and see. Is this the card that was in yesterday? Oh no, this was a card for somebody else, sorry. Okay, there we go. Well, Kevin Cross, you need to do a better job of sorting your cards through. Okay, I get it. Gertrude and Beatrice. I checked in with them this morning, and they were back into the village, but they moved past this fountain they were in yesterday, the wishing well, and they went over, sort of like if they were in a little tiny town square, they moved over to like the northwestern section of this little town, and they're in this park. Gertrude is painting and Beatrice is writing. So they're okay, and there's a green like a patch of green grass, lovely manicured grass, and there is some kind of bunting going on. They've put up some bunting, and they're basically saying, get creative. All the way around, Beatrice is writing papers. She's writing things down. She's doing poetry, and Gertrude is just painting. She's drawing and she's painting, and she's got her painting smock on. And she's just saying, when you're creative, you're as close as you can get to the divine. Create something that makes you happy is what she's saying. Creating something that makes your heart sing. I'm just going to pull this card because they're just rabbiting on. This is a time to be light, and I call it light and fluffy like a cake. There you go. Where do I come up with this stuff? Oh, the Ace of Cups, or the Ace of Water in this case. We've got our mermaid, and she's on the bottom of the ocean. And we have our porpoise that's just looking over, our dolphin. Haniel, that's the goddess of the moon. And she's saying a beautiful new emotional experience is coming, a romantic relationship or a deepening friendship. Awakening to the psychic abilities of spiritual insights. A love letter could be coming, and you could be looking at a new place to live. This is just your insight, your psychic insight. To me, this just says a brand new opportunity for joy. A brand new opportunity for you to get into your joy. That could mean a new way to express yourself creatively. I'll share with you this morning. I like to meditate first thing. I like to delve into some creative affirmations. I like a little bit of Abraham Hicks. I certainly love my pan drum, or yeah, they call it pan drum, I think, hand drum. I love listening to that, Multi Martin. It sort of sets me up in the morning, and it's almost like me shutting out any of the dramatic claptrap that's been going on. However, so I was looking this morning and got my creative vibe. You know, those of you who know me, you've been on some of my group calls. I've started getting obsessed with crochet. So somehow this morning, up pops this girl. She's not a girl; she's a woman. She runs a YouTube channel called Pretty Peaceful. That's where I learned to make. Look, this is where I learned to make this bag last summer out of scraps of yarn. And that's started this obsession with crochet. Um, and then I made throws and blankets, and now I've got a list of people that want one. I like it. Well, all right, I'll get on with it. All right, I'll shut up in a minute. Uh, she was this morning. Oh, I got all kind of in. I just got in it. She was. I got to figure out how this woman did it. She's making a bliss blanket. Oh my good lord. What is a bliss blanket, you ask yourself? It is yarn with a small crochet hook, and she is threading beads onto this thing. Go to Pretty Peaceful on YouTube, look up the bliss, I think it's blissful blanket or the bliss blanket, and you'll see her threading these beads onto this. Well, see, that kind of thing gets me going. It sort of stirs me up and think, oh, that's incredible. But not just that. I mean, I can't. Then my head goes to, well, how in the world would you wash that thing? You put that thing in the washing machine, it's going to go clanger, 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 going around and around. I can't imagine. And I'm thinking, oh my God, my dogs are going to think that that's candy. They're going to be crunching on them beads. No. So I kept watching. She says she lays it flat on the bed and she laid on top of it and she said it's pure bliss. Now I know why they have those things that sit in the vehicle when you're driving with all those wooden beads on it to massage your back. Well, then my mind went bonkers. Like, oh, imagine take a little bit thicker thread, a little bit bigger bead with a bigger hole on it, and you start going, and there you go. You've got your macrame beaded blanket. I'm going off on a tangent. I'm sorry. Listen, have a great day. Find your bliss and find your joy. And until tomorrow, lots of love. Bye for now.